Very few genres have stood the test of time as successfully as the war genre, with the seemingly endless potentials to tell engaging, multi-layered stories, whether real life or fictional. So many of the most influential movies take place on a battlefield. In more recent years, the output of war films may not be the same as in the post-World War II era, but we have still had plenty of choice for films offering new perspectives within the genre. Fury is without a doubt one of the most memorable war movies of the century so far, thanks to the realism instilled in the movie by writer and director David Ayer, who had personal motivation to honor those who served in the Second World War. But it's not just the film itself that deserves attention. The brutal the preparation that the star-studded cast went through, made for behind-the-scenes experience like no other. Here tells the story of a fireman Sherman tank crew in World War II as the Allies attempt to make their final advance in the European theater. Led by Sergeant Don War Daddy Brad Pitt, the crew's mission sees them rush deep behind enemy lines, putting them at constant risk of attack by the Nazis. While many war films put the end goal as the main focus, Fury instead expertly explores the physical and emotional effects that such an intense situation would inevitably have on the tank crew. The crew's goal gives a sense of direction for the film, but in an interview with Deadline, I clearly clarified that he intended to highlight the brutal condition the real life anchors face in the conflict, saying, I wanted something different, the emotional toll. Claustrophobic work can be the military has been a massive part of Ayer's life. Being a veteran himself, as well as his grandparents being World War II veterans, it's no surprise that he did everything necessary to achieve the ultimate level of realism. That's the story of the movie, the dysfunctional family that comes from the crew after a war when the mission overruns the journey of the people. He added, studying existing war films and talking to real life active duty service members, veterans is the common method to prepare for this type of role, but that wasn't enough for instead, he fully immersed the cast in the life of crew members, setting up a 4-month training program before the film began shooting. The cast, which includes John Bernthal, Shia LaBeouf, Michael Pena, and Logan Lerman, alongside Peter Scott, out there talking to thank you veterans, but were then thrown into the deep end by being pushed by physically fighting each other. Air set up sparring matches between the cast, which resulted in some real injuries with air ragging. They really got into it. Every once in a while, I had to shout, "Don't punch the money," when Pitt was in the mix. Alongside leaving the tank that they would be filming in together, the preparations didn't stop there. Toward the end of the 4 months, I put each of the cast members through a rigorous boot camp set up by Navy SEALs. Then, when talking to IndieWire, Pitt said that he felt that our spectacles most definitely had the desired effect. It was really an amazing experience the way it was structured to break us down, to make us understand hardships, make us be cold, wet, hungry, physically exhausted, and then gave us tasks that would bring us together, bond us, discover each other's weaknesses and strengths, and establish a pecking order. Pitt said it was really a profound experience. Lavioff managed to grab headlines by himself for his role in Fury, taking a method-acting approach that would most likely come under more scrutiny if the film had anyone else other than David Ayer directing it. Labioff's dedication to his role as bored Bible Swan even saw him pull out his own tooth and cut his face to leave a scar. As filming began, the fighting almost returned to pre-production levels and unplanned as Labioff took offense to Scott Eastwood spitting on the crew's tank. Pitt had to get involved in the situation before the crew came to blows, but it turned out that it was in the script of Eastwood to spit on the tank between his lines. Years later, there still has not been a scene behind-the-scenes story to match Ayer's ruthless plan to prepare his cast for one of the most important films he has made. From the outside, having the cast physically fight each other before they even got to connect might seem destructive, but the 5 members of the Sherman tank crew all seemingly agreed with Ayer that it helped create a genuine sense of companionship between them to capture both the emotional toll this position had on the real soldier in 8 years ago. Each character conveys their own distinct response to the traumatic situation they have been in for some time now, which Without their time together leading up to the film may not have reached the same heights as it does. While the film as a whole received mixed reviews from critics with a 64% score on Metacritic, the dynamics between the five main characters are some of the most authentic in any World War II film. Even if it took the actors being pushed to their limits to achieve it, the film also cemented David as one of the most uniquely dedicated filmmakers in the industry, particularly when the project holds so much personal value to him.